Right now, just from reading that title, there's a good chance your jaw already twitched. The word yawn. You saw it, and something at the back of your throat woke up. You didn't choose that. Nobody near you was even tired, and yet the urge is already climbing. So here's the strange part. You can catch a yawn from a stranger across a room, from a photo, from a dog, from a single written word on a screen. Your body copied an action it only witnessed, and it never asked you first. Most people think this is about being sleepy. It isn't. That reflex is one of the most honest readouts of your empathy your body owns, and on average, the people who feel the least for others catch the fewest yawns. A caught yawn and a tired yawn are two completely different machines, and the difference turns out to be the most revealing thing your face does all day. Here's the small answer first, the one that already validates why you clicked. The yawn you make alone, when you're bored or waking up, that's a spontaneous yawn. It's your brain adjusting its own state. But the yawn you catch off another person is a social response. It only fires when someone else goes first. It is, in the most literal sense, other people getting inside your body. But that just moves the mystery. Because why would seeing a yawn make your mouth open? A picture can't make your arm lift. So what is a yawn doing that 1,000 other movements aren't? To get at that, I want to bring in someone who studies what your body does before you've decided anything. Sarah, when you see someone yawn, what's actually going on in there?
Yeah, so basically your brain doesn't just watch a yawn, it rehearses it. There's a system in there, a motor resonance system, and when it sees an action, it quietly runs the plan for that same action in you. Seeing the yawn switches on your own yawn program. Most of the time it stays under the surface. But a yawn is a big, loose, easy movement, so the rehearsal tips over into the real thing. You feel it as a tickle at the back of the jaw, this slow pressure, and you can fight it, but you usually lose. That's the funny part, Tom. The harder you clench, the more your eyes water.
So it's not a decision, it's a copy that leaks out, and this is the same wiring behind something much bigger. When you cross your arms because the person opposite did, or pick up their accent after an hour together, that's the same perception to action link. Seeing becomes doing. The yawn is just the loudest, most visible proof that it's running under everything. So now we know how. Your body mirrors. But that only sharpens the real question. Why would evolution build a body that copies other people without permission? Copying sounds like a bug. It turns out it was the whole point. Think about what a yawn actually signals. It rides on the edge between awake and asleep. It shows up when a body is winding down or dragging itself back up. Now put a whole group of early humans in one place, in the dark, out in the open. Peter, why would a tribe need to catch each other's yawns?
Because a group that fell asleep at random was a group that died. Picture it. Some of them nodding off, some wide awake, nobody's states lined up. That's a fractured tribe. Exposed. So something colder got installed. One yawn ripples out and pulls everyone toward the same state at the same time. They wind down together, they go quiet together, they wake together, they stay alert together. The contagion isn't kindness, Tom. It's a synchronization tool. One body sets the clock, and the rest fall in line. So the whole group moves as a single, harder-to-kill animal.
So the yawn is a clock. It passes a state around a group until everyone's running on the same rhythm. That's cold, and it's kind of brilliant. But here's the crack in that explanation. If it were pure herd sync, you'd catch anyone's yawn equally. You don't. You catch your best friend's yawn instantly. Your mum's. A stranger's? Barely. So this machine isn't just syncing bodies. It's reading who counts. Before we get to what that means about you, let's kill the myth you were probably taught. You've heard that yawning is your brain gasping for oxygen. It's a tidy story. It's wrong. Robert Provine, the researcher who spent his life on this, tested it head-on, gave people extra oxygen, then extra carbon dioxide, and the yawning didn't do what the oxygen story says it should. Breathing wasn't the driver, which cleared the way for the real answer. Yawning is about state, and the catchable kind is about each other. So back to that gap. Why do you catch the yawns of people you love and shrug off a stranger's? Because contagious yawning runs on the same system as empathy. The more your mirror wiring lights up for another person, the more their yawn lands in you. That's why it follows the map of your closeness. Close people, strong signal. Strangers, faint. And you can watch it switch on in a life. Children under about 4 mostly don't catch yawns at all. Then, around 4 or 5, it appears, right as another thing comes online, the ability to understand that other people have their own minds, their own insides. The moment a child can imagine what you feel, they start catching your yawns. The contagion and the empathy grow up together. There's a sharper edge to this too. On average, and only on average, people who score high on traits like low affective empathy tend to catch fewer yawns. Stephen Platek and others tied yawn catching to how much you process and feel with other people. Now, this is not a test. A yawn you didn't catch does not make you cold, but across a lot of people, the pattern holds. The more tuned in you are, the more your body echoes the bodies around it. Peter, you look at this coldly. Why would evolution care one way or the other whether you feel with the group?
Because feeling with the group isn't soft, it's structural. A body that mirrors the people around it is a body that stays in sync with them. Same rhythm, same alarm, same wind down. That makes you a reliable node in the herd, one the group can predict and lean on. The mirror wiring that catches a yawn is the same wiring that makes you flinch when someone near you gets hurt and move before they've even called out. Evolution didn't reward it because it's sweet. It rewarded it because a tightly linked group outsurvives a loose one every single time. Low empathy reads as a weaker link in that chain. That's the cold version, Tom. The warm one just feels like caring.
Right, so the tenderness and the survival math are the same thing wearing two faces, which is exactly why it doesn't feel like math from the inside. Sarah, what does that actually feel like, being that tuned in?
Honestly, it's that moment you and a friend both yawn at the same time and then both crack up about it. That sheepish grin. What you're feeling in that second is your nervous system quietly saying, I'm with these people. It's warm. You're not being weak or lazy or tired. You're picking up the signal that you belong to the room. And it goes the other way too. Your dog yawns back at you, especially one that knows you well. That's not random, Tom. That's another body deciding it's on your team.
So that reflex you might have felt a little embarrassed about, catching every single yawn, welling up the second someone else does, flip it. It isn't a glitch. It's a readout. Your body is telling you your mirror system is wide open, that you're built to feel with the people around you. The exact same wiring that catches a yawn is the wiring that lets you read a room, feel a friend's mood drop before they've said a word, and comfort someone without even thinking about it. And here's where it stops being about yawns at all. Because if your body can auto-copy a yawn off the room without asking you first, then a yawn is just the one copy big enough to see. Underneath it, quieter, your body is doing the exact same thing with 100 other signals. The energy of the room, the tension in a voice, the mood of the person sitting next to you right now. You are constantly, silently syncing to the people around you, borrowing states you never once agreed to. The ancestors who did this survived. The ones who wound down together, woke together, watched together. They're the ones who made it through the night. Your catchable yawn is a piece of that ancient software, still running, still quietly stitching you into every group you walk into. So the next time a yawn crosses a room and lands in your jaw, you'll know it wasn't tiredness. It was your empathy, moving faster than you can. You didn't decide to yawn. Something in you recognized its people and answered.